And a round of applause as he appends that signature. Wonderful, wonderful. And isn't it a wonderful story to hear? Wonderful, wonderful. That's right there. Thank you, sir. So we now may with to lead us in a word of prayer.
I thank the Lord God as we have gathered in this simple house of our nation, Kenya. We are not celebrating literary achievements, but also in honoring life of service to Kenya and its people by the author, Mazdem Madoka.
Mazdem Madoka, author of a great, great book.
Thank you so much for coming to this function. When I was thinking of
The Literature Bureau has a history, and the history dates back to educational materials, and that is why we are here. Amateur Boxing Association, he was able to produce people, the author. Your Excellency, it's an honor and provincial administration where you were. At the Kenya Breweries, he championed sports.
You know, I had no choice but to get to the president. Kuja nikaangalia, tukapatana, back to come and play billiards with her. He would wave at us and we'll come and chat with him. And black fellows. There was that we used to have, and it needs to be looked at. So we really thank but here, so in the evenings, I tutor in swimming. But it is not hostile law. He encouraged more units, much more. That motivates soldier like me. So kififia kidogo hivi, tutakugonga tu.
Throughout his life, he has always been ready to serve, ready to lead.
The last thing I'd like to say, because I must now allow the function to continue, because of the centrality of the position you have played, come and witness this crime. Loneliness, more than anything else, is what it is.
And now I can see, indeed, he was ambitious. You see where he is.
And we have both ladies and gents on that side, and there'll be somebody to guide you. So we are settled once we begin. We should be beginning anytime.
We've said many a times that public office is not to pursue personal ambitions, right? we need to elect officials who serve this country with a purpose. I believe that freedom we enjoy today is a precious gift from God and the hope of every heart. The quest for freedom inspired our independence heroes and heroines to end colonialism and has sustained our country through various challenges. Now, Mr. President, the question that lingers in my mind, why we only sing the first stanza of our national anthem? The other stanzas contain much more units, much more that unites us, our country, and enforces our national values. They embody our national philosophy, representing what we stand for and what we would fight for as a people. The reason that motivates soldiers like me to defend our nation is encapsulated in our national flag, anthem, and loyalty.
I really appreciate the work that Kenya Literature Bureau continues to do. I'm an author, perhaps not a distinguished one like Marsden, but nonetheless an author, and I have heard some works done through the Literature Bureau. And if I may say this, there is no autobiography in this country that has been done in vain. As I have described previously, autobiographies are like a jigsaw of our republic. And as Marsden has demonstrated, each and every one of us playing in any particular field has something interesting and useful to say. I used to say some were not very well written, but whatever the form, Banapo, let us do autobiographies and biographies. I saw you, Amos, at the launch of Ekirapa's book, an excellent book that really captures the essence of the history of this country from center stage of the civil service. The number one killer of older people now is not heart disease, is not cancer, is not smoking, it is loneliness. And I would like us to understand that when you don't visit your parents, when they are old like this, you are committing a serious crime. Loneliness, more than anything else, is what is killing us. Marsden, you have invested in friends all your life, and that is the reason that you don't walk alone anymore.
I want, first of all, to thank the President for having allowed this launch to be done here in the Statehouse. I don't know, any of you, whether you are surprised when you got the invitation from Marsden to come. I'm having a big launch. Then I was waiting to hear it will be at Serena Hotel, or it will be at Karen Club, or some other place. But it was going to be at Statehouse. I was very, very surprised, pleasantly surprised. Thank you, President, for making this Statehouse truly a Statehouse that belongs to the people. People have come here, and we are now here. And thank you particularly because you allowed Marsden to launch his autobiography here. I cannot think of any couple, short of the President, the first families and so on, who have dwelt in this place from their very youth, who have married very here when they were here, and who have made enormous contribution in laying the foundations of how this place should be run than Marsden and Elizabeth. And that you allowed them to come here and launch their life history. Mr. President, we thank you. Namakofi kwa President. The history of Kenya, to my mind, will not be written by historians whose reference would be newspapers and social media, because in that way, you get a very warped sense of history of Kenya. I believe the history of Kenya is going to be written by people like Musila, people like Ikirapa, but more so by people like Marsden here. People who have given excellent service, who have been men of integrity, who have been men of service to this country. Imagine coming here when you are very young, to be, I think, the first African Statehouse controller, and staying here for a long time, and you are handsome, and all of the time standing behind President Jomo Kenyatta, the father of the nation. Imagine that. Imagine somebody taking part in a beauty pageant, the first of its type in Kenya, soon after independence, and being crowned as Miss Uhuru, Miss Kenya, the first one, a beautiful lady walking on the steps. And imagine the handsome man behind President Jomo Kenyatta. And imagine the lady who became Miss Kenya. Imagine them getting married in a wonderful wedding. I can tell you, your wedding inspired most of us. And we said, if we grow up, we would want to be like Marsden and Elizabeth in the way they bear themselves. So thank you so much. I was encouraging Mrs. Pratt here, my friend, you should also write a book, because you have something to say. You have something to say for Kenyans to read and benefit. But it is autobiographies such as this that out of them will now come a history of Kenya which is realistic and which is true to the facts, and which is not based on perceptions. It is based on reality. So, President,
let us all work towards improving this country of ours. I believe it's a great country, and there's a lot to be done. I don't envy your task, particularly now. Sasa mimi vile nilisema tulikuwa tunalalamika na wenzangu kwamba hawa vijana hawa watatuharibia. Sasa unaona vile mambo yalivyo. Sasa ujue ni njia gani utatumia kututuliza ili tufanye mambo yetu sawa sawa. Great for this nation. Mungu akubariki, uendeshe nchi hii vyema, na sisi sote tuunge President mkono. Sasa umesikia hayo makofi, utakuwa supported vyema. Na kila mara tunakuombea. Kazi yako si rahisi. Kuwa president wa taifa is a big task, kwa sababu huwezi kutosheleza haja zetu. Hata siku moja ukirudi nyuma kidogo, alikuwa anaenda nje na MPs wake wengine wa Rift wakimgonga Moi. Lakini niliwaita nikawaambia, wacheni mzee afanye kazi. And eventually they stopped, which I know helped Moi. He came and told me, oh, sasa wamegeuka, wanaenda njia nzuri. So mawaidha yangu na ushauri wangu naona uliwafaa. Kwanza wewe, because you are the most outspoken of those of that group. Lakini hiyo pia ilikuwa inaonyesha uongozi wako.